Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. It's Thursday, February 10th, 2022, and my name is Jennifer Cotton. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Midlothian, Texas, and that means I teach people how to make greeting cards, scrapbook pages, gift packaging, and more with stamps, ink, paper, and lots of cool tools. So, welcome if this is your first time seeing me. Thank you for being here. And let me say hi to lots of people who've been on for a couple of minutes now. Stella and Pat and Linda, good morning. Hey, Marcia. Hey, Rita. Pat and Rita already shared this video. Thank you. Hello, Amanda and Martha and Cindy. Linda and Amanda, thank you for sharing. Hey, Shannon. I'm scrolling here. Linda Carver saved in case you get interrupted. Very smart. Hey, Cindy, thanks for sharing. Hey, Elizabeth in Georgia, good morning. Linda in Mansfield. Terry in Charlotte. Oh, awesome. Kim, good morning. Sherry and Jackie, good morning, everybody. So I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 20 years now. And that, well, I was going to tell you what that means, but I already said that. Which means that I teach people how to make cards and all that stuff. But I do this as a full-time business, so if you see anything you like today, you can purchase these products from me. This is my job, so thank you very much for your business. Just watching the video helps me, so thank you for that. Sharing the video where you click that little share button on Facebook or YouTube and share it somewhere else helps me, so thank you for that. And make sure you comment that you shared, because you're going to get entered to win the 4 cards I'm making today by doing both of those things: commenting on YouTube or Facebook here, or sharing the video, even if you're watching replay, by the way. Anyway, all that stuff helps me. Clicking like, subscribing, everything helps. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. My the stamp set I'm using today is called Daffodil Daydream, and it is a bundle, but I have half of the dies in a baggie. You'll see them on the video. And the rest of the dies are here, so that doesn't really show you too much right now. But a bundle means you get both products for 10% off, or you can purchase them separately. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with my updates and information. Like I said, I do this as a full-time job, so I offer events every month that anyone can take anywhere in the United States. I offer some local events that you can attend in person. Some of my events, you can check out the supplies from my house and stamp at your house. I do a lot of stuff. In addition to ordering specials and all kinds of things like that. So I'm going to try to go back and catch up here real quick. Marcia says, like your hair, and I was just like messing with it because it's getting on my nerves today, the way it's like separating right here. I don't know what it's doing, but thank you, Marcia. Hey, Valley Chick, good morning. Hey, Jean in North Dakota. Good morning, Charlotte and Sandy. Thank you. Yes, I'm back from my stamping cruise. April, good morning. Hey, Shirley. Carol, thanks for sharing. Hey, Pat and Jean, thank you for sharing. Good morning, Carol and Cindy. Thanks for sharing. Sherry, thank you for sharing. Hello, Landa. Marcia, I'm going to talk about the cruise. Vivi, good morning. Ooh, fixing to leave for a 4-day retreat. Awesome. Hey, Margie. Hey, Susan. Hey, Carol. Okay, so the stamping cruise, you guys are asking, was awesome, of course. 7 days. You can craft the entire 7 days, of course. All of us, April and I, and the actual crafters there. I'm looking at my iPad and my video's a little choppy, so I don't know if that's happening for all of you guys. We did not stay in the craft room 24/7 because there's so much to do on a cruise ship. So we went and saw shows, karaoke, games, played games on the ship. Some, like one of our people, Kim, was a professional trivia person, so she was winning lots of prizes and bringing those back to us. And we went down to the stamping room, the craft room, which was all for us 24/7. And everybody got to work on their 6 classes. I believe I showed all those projects, you know, a quick sneak peek of them the last time I was on live, and I think I did. Anyway, I have them stacked over there, but I have so much to show you today. I'm not going to show them today. I have a different thing to show from the cruise. So anyway, I'll talk about that a little bit more, but it was awesome, and we strongly recommend you register now for next year, January 2023, on Allure of the Seas out of Galveston, Texas, because space is going to be limited, and we feel like it's going to fill up. So register now. You can pay it out. Okay, so upcoming events. I have my monthly classes are next week, next Saturday the 19th. Anyone can take these anywhere in the U.S. There's 3 options: in person, take it to go, stamp at home, or check out those supplies from my house. There's 4 classes to choose from with this. Stamp a Stack, Sampler, Card, and Scrapbook. You can take 1, 2, 3, or all 4 classes. Every class I offer includes a PDF tutorial, everything cut, die cut, punched, embossed possible. You do cut your own designer paper or a kit component, like if we include a Memories and More kit or something. All are offered in the US. Most of them you can purchase the PDF tutorial only. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'll talk about Daffodil Daydream in a minute. So the 4 classes this month, we have a card class is using Honeybee Home Bundle. And we're going to make 4 cards for $15 free with a $20 order. So if you'd like to sign up for that, the links are out there, but let me know if you need me to send you the link. Scrapbook class, 3 12 by 12 pages for $15 free with a $20 order. You can have any of this mailed to you. There is a shipping cost, but you only pay 1 shipping cost whether you take 1, 2, 3, or 4 classes. So you might as well take more. We're doing spring and Easter pages, so we're using Flowering Tulips Bundle and Easter Friends Bundle. And these, we always make matching pages, so we'll make 2 of one theme, and the 3rd one will be a single, but next month we'll make the matching one, and so on. That's how Scrapbook class is. It is a club. You can still join the club. Tell me how my signal is, because I'm showing video interrupted on my iPad, but that could just be my iPad. Let me go back here and see if I missed anybody. Susan, good morning. Martha shared, thank you. Joni, hello. Happy Thursday to you. Sarah, I'll talk a little more about the trip in a little bit, so you can catch replay if you like. Susan, what did that say? Good morning. Oh, Martha was talking to Susan. Never mind. Marcia. Okay. So anyway, I don't know if my video is interrupted, freezing some. Yeah, Carol. So I'm trying something different today, just using my Wi-Fi, and I don't know if that's going to be a bad thing. So, in fact, let me make sure that I'm on the correct Wi-Fi here. Yeah, I'm on the right one, so we'll see. Usually I plug in directly, but then it cuts out halfway through the video. The Wi-Fi does. So anyway, the other 2 classes. Sampler, we're using the Rainbow of Happiness bundle. This sampler class, you're going to get a free half a pack of the Rainbow, I forget what it's called, Sunshine and Rainbows designer paper from Bration, plus $20 in merchandise. Plus you get to make a sampler. Here's the one we made last month. Valentine themed last month. This month is just nice, springy, summery, rainbow colors. And so you'll get the 12 by 12 piece. You'll get your half a pack of the designer paper free, plus $20 in merchandise, and we cut, die cut, punch, etc. It's awesome. Again, in person to go, etc. This class is $28, including $20 in merchandise, including the free designer paper. and including us cutting everything and giving you a PDF. It's a great deal. Now you can also join the sampler club instead. You pay the exact same price as the regular class attendees, but you can get benefits after staying in the club for 6 months. And I have links to all of this. Just let me know if you want to join. Okay, next is Stamp-A-Stack. $30. You can join the club or just purchase it. Includes 20 in merchandise. And that's what I'm demonstrating today is the Stamp-A-Stack class. So, you'll get to see those cards today. Okay, let me go back over here. The Daffodil Daydream card class with games. This is online. It's on Zoom. Anyone can take this. It's Thursday, March 10th at 6:30 p.m. Central. Anyone in the U.S., I should say. And you're going to get to make at least 4 projects using Daffodil Daydream. That's what I'm using today, but of course they will be completely different projects. You're going to get to attend the Zoom, so you'll get to meet other stampers, interact with other stampers, have fun, talk to each other, play bingo to win hundreds of dollars in prizes. And then we stamp at the end, and you can stay around for the stamping or not, it's your choice. But that's where you can really ask the questions, get some tips, you know, meet each other, etc. So you want to register for this by February 27th. So you still have time, but register sooner so you don't forget rather than later. And that's the Daffodil Daydream card class with online games. Okay. March retreat in a box. I have sneak peeks on the cruise. April and I got all of our March retreat projects made. So this is the actual weekend retreat, but you can take it to go. Hey, Catherine, if you cannot be there in person. And by the way, join my Simply Spoiled Retreats group to find out about all of our upcoming in-person and to-go retreats. Okay, so first of all, the retreat in a box includes $50 in merchandise, 12 projects this time, 12 make and takes, where we cut, die cut, punch, you cut your designer paper and stamp and assemble at home, because this is the to-go version, in person is sold out. We're using the Flowering Field suite, so there are 2 bundles within that suite, the tulips and the I'm blanking out on the real names, but the tulips and the windmill stuff. You're going to make 12 gorgeous projects. I have such a mess in front of me today because I have so much stuff to share. So let me clear this so I can pick up. So we're going to make some note cards. Don't forget you get 50 in merchandise. We're going to make some note cards, a box to put them in. We're going to make some full-size cards. Oh, they might have a little fancy fold or something. Can't open that properly. We're going to make, of course, a sampler. All about tulips. We're going to make scrapbook pages. Oh, I have a loose butterfly there. Scrapbook pages. Yes. All of this is included. Plus, you're going to get gifts from April and I. You're going to get, here's a little loose butterfly. Oh, you can't see it. I have to figure out where that one goes. Gifts from April and I. A bag that's exclusive to this event. PDF tutorial. Like, it's so worth that fee. Here's all your 12 projects. We usually do 10. We did more this time. Because why not? Okay, so that's retreat in a box. You need to register by, let me find my date here. It's on here somewhere. March 13th, and your kit will be mailed by April 1st. So we're calling it the March retreat in a box, but it's getting mailed on April 1st. We always mail it right after our in-person retreat. Okay, so there's that. You can take only the retreat in a box. You can also only take one or the other of these 2 optional add-on classes. So mine is the Hello Ladybug class. You're going to make 6 cards and 2 treat boxes. You're going to get $35 in merchandise. These are so cute. They're not our traditional ladybug colors. Let's see how I can show this. So cute. 6 cards, 3 designs, 2 of each. $35 in merchandise. 2 boxes. And they're not Valentine boxes. They're just treat boxes. You can put gift cards in there, candy, money, whatever you want. They're super cute. PDF tutorial, all that stuff. We cut, die cut, punch, etc. So that's my class. You can add that on when you register for the retreat, or you can only take one of these 2 classes or both of the classes and no retreat in a box. All of these are your options when you register. In addition, you can also add on the stamp sets and bundles. And then we have a gorgeous Stamp-A-Stack by April. You're going to make 12 cards. Let me make sure that's right. Yes, 4 designs, 3 of each, using the, let me hold these properly, Honeybee Home Bundle. Gorgeous cards. You're going to want to take this one as well. All the dates, for registration are the same. Register by March 13th. Kit mailed by approximately April 1st. So if you have any questions on Retreat in a Box or you need that link, let me know. And join that Simply Spoiled Retreat group so you can get all those links and stuff and notifications. Let me catch up here on comments. Yeah, I seem to be freezing today. Thank you guys for confirming that. And Martha said it, for her it's freezing, but sound continues. Dana says better on desktop instead of iPhone. But I do think it might be on my end this time. You know how sometimes I'm like, well, check your internet. Because I'm using my Wi-Fi today as a sort of as a test. Hey Tommy, hey Debbie, hey France, hey Robin, good morning sunshine, hey Janet and Diane and Margie. Hey, thanks for sharing, Margie. Okay, so that was a retreat. I also have in-person retreats coming up in, yay Carol and Janet, no freezing. Okay, so internet is so weird, isn't it? Literally. Okay, in person, May and August, Texas, Temple, Texas, Rockin' R retreats, huge retreat center, lots of space, lots of space. These are different retreats than the projects I just showed you, of course. We haven't even planned those projects yet. We'll probably be using new catalog stuff because we get to see the new catalog next month, by the way, we demonstrators. The new annual catalog. We get to see it next month. Anyway, if you attend in person, you can participate in the swap. You can use our supplies like stamps, dies, embossing folders, punches. You can get an optional massage. You get all your meals. And then you get the same other stuff that our retreats to go get. The $50 goodie bag, at least 10 make and takes, gifts. And then, of course, you get a bed to sleep in. So, again, links are out there to sign up for these retreats already. Join the Simply Spoiled Retreats Facebook group, which, by the way, links for that are in the Facebook post now and will be in the YouTube video. Or you can just contact me. Okay, stamping cruise. We went on our cruise last week. Thank goodness we were able to go. COVID protocols were all in place with the cruise ship. Everything was good to go. You had to prove stuff. You had to wear your mask in certain places, etc. So safe. And we had a ton of fun. April and I got to meet a lot of new customers. I guess you call them customers. They were mostly Stampin' Up demonstrators who joined us, but we had not met you in person. So that was awesome. And then, of course, a lot of our regular team and customers attended as well, who we already knew, but we got to spend more time with people. So thank you to everyone who came. Of course, over the past 2 years that we've been having this on the calendar, we've had people cancel and come in and out due to COVID, of course. Completely understandable. What else? It was just fun. We ate a ton because all the food is free. I mean, you can pay for extra food, but you do not need to. You can eat all you want for free. One of my friends was like, I don't know how I'm going to go back to not being able to go down the elevator and get pizza at 1 a.m. every night. And we're like, yeah. And, of course, room service, get your coffee in your room every morning. Cruises are so good. You get so much for the price you pay on cruises. And then, what else? So we had a swap. Here are the awesome swaps we received. If you participated, you get back one of each. So, and everybody on the cruise got to vote for their favorite swap. And so when I come to it, I'll show you the winner. I had a little panic there for a second that was April's, that my video was backwards. Super cute, right? This is the rainbow stuff, by the way. She made little gift bags out of that. Isn't that cute? This was second place, Landa's swap. She made, again, the rainbow stuff, but she made a butterfly, so really versatile. You should go ahead and just take my sampler class. This is the designer paper I'm using today. This is our winner by Yolanda. Look at that. So cute. I think, yeah, there's a greeting up there as well. Super cute. Gorgeous. This is the stamp set I'm using today, Daffodil Daydream. This was my swap. You may recognize it from a previous video I did, and then the last one. So awesome swaps. Of course, now I get to keep all these cards and display them, so that is the fun. We had a creative contest, and we had, I believe, 5 amazing entries, but they get to keep those. So I don't have those to show, but this was one of them because Landa entered this one, and she made one for April and I. So the creative swap, they have to use the products that they received from us, which is a ton on this cruise, to make anything they want. And so that was Landa's awesome entry, but our winner was Dorothy Duggar. She made a really awesome project. So then, of course, y'all know you get like a ton of product when you take the cruise. So they have all their product. If you take the crafting portion, by the way, you can bring anyone you want on the cruise. They don't have to take the crafting portion. So you can bring family, spouse. Many people had their spouses. But in the past, we've had people bring friends, female friends who are not crafters. They don't have to do the crafting portion, children, etc. But so they got that. They got all their packets to complete the 6 classes, but a ton of projects, cut, die cut, punch, etc. Then they got an exclusive bag. Isn't this cute? It has my name on the little tag right there. April makes our bags for us, and it's a huge bag. It's a great beach bag. There were all different colors, by the way. Then, what I have inside this bag is some of my stuff from the cruise. So I was telling you about Kim getting us the free logo stuff. This is a Royal Caribbean bag in there, like a travel bag. Kim made I can't think of the words, not a purse, a little bag for everyone that attended. Some people gave everyone a gift. Some people gave me and April a gift. Whatever. A Royal Caribbean zipper pull. Here's our little, we have, of course, Simply Spoiled Cruise lanyards, and you can wear your little room card around your neck so that you can easily flash it and pay for those drinks and get into dining rooms and stuff very quickly. I have lots of stuff that's loose here from different gifts that people gave us. So, like this had a bunch of candy in it. So, of course, I ate that, but isn't that super cute? Love this stamp set. Create with friends. But there was candy, Post-it notes, tissues, hand sanitizer. We received a lot of gifts from you guys, so thank you very much. Everyone got a t-shirt. Peace, Love, Craft, and Cruise. Isn't that cute? Peace, Love, Craft, and Cruise. We usually do pink t-shirts, but it wasn't possible this time. I dropped something. This is the tag from my shirt. And this was a goodie bag from us to our customers, but I think I took something out of it. I know I opened it. I took something out of here. I can't remember what. But there's like a straw, 2 masks, tissues, treat, sunscreen. I forgot what the sanitizer. I took the hand sanitizer out because I needed it. This was a gift I received from Shirley. Look at this gorgeous soap. So nice. And she made the box, of course. And we always decorate your room, your cabin door. We have this awesome dry erase so you can leave notes, you know, be right back, clean the room, don't clean the room, whatever. Leave notes to your friends. I'm dropping everything here. Royal Caribbean hand sanitizer. Landon, I thought that was so cute. There was one in our room, so we kind of begged for a second one. We gave everyone a passport holder, super cute, which also contained the lanyard thing. Everyone got an awesome pool or ocean, any kind of water, honestly. Cell phone holder. Landa used it almost as a purse all week because you can totally see through it, so you can take pictures through it and all that. Not a purse, but like that was her cell phone holder. And then just a few more little things here. Some of us went to the disco party and got the disco ring and a couple more logo. So, long story short, go on the cruise. You'll get lots of stuff. You'll have tons of fun. Everybody received a prize in addition to all the gifts, and I don't even think I have all the gifts here. It was a card. I used mine for our table waiter. Gave it away. There was a card everyone received. I can't remember what else. I'm trying to think. But lots of gifts, and then of course the fun with all the friends and the new friends. Sorry, it's frozen. I'm trying to pause a minute, see if the connection gets a little better. I'm going to read y'all's comments. Those swaps were beautiful. Sarah, I agree. Okay. Hey, Betty, I'm glad you're here as well. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Pat. Yes, awesome swaps. Hey, Candy, good morning. Betty says April is awesome. Yes, we are good partners. We have the same birthday, by the way. Did y'all know that? We're like twins. Pat loves the bags. Yes. Hey, Diane, good morning. Betty, it is so much fun. Hey, Sherry. By the way, we had people fly in. Multiple people fly in, as well as people from Texas who were able to drove. So, thank you, Betty. So you can come if you live out of state. Definitely. It's out of Galveston, Texas. Oh, Sarah's not freezing. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. So that was all about the cruise. Hopefully, I mean, I know I'm forgetting stuff, but it's basically just fun. Like being, I see it freezing on my other device as well. Just being, what's the word I'm looking for? Being on a vacation was fun. By the way, the ship was only like half or less full, so that was like a little bonus for us. That probably won't be the same next year, hopefully. But, you know, so not as many crowds and stuff, so that was cool. Okay, Paper Pumpkin. Let's talk about Paper Pumpkin. This is our monthly subscription service of a craft box in the mail. The one that you can sign up for by today only, February 10th, is the, okay, I'm blanking on what it's called. The, okay, it has these animals, safari inspired. I don't remember what the actual name of it is, but it's safari inspired. There's like an antelope or something, an elephant, and like a gorilla, I think, or a monkey. And they're all partying and having fun and roller skating. You can see how fun these cards look. They don't usually give us a sneak peek of the cards like this, so that's a little bonus as well. Now, if you can see my graphic, it says subscribe or purchase by February 10th. February 11th, there is going to be a small price increase on Paper Pumpkin, so that's up $1.50 per month. Of course, this is due to supply chain issues, COVID stuff, etc. But a small price increase of $1.50. And So if you want to avoid that price increase today only, you can go to my website and purchase a pre-paid subscription for 1, 3, 6, or 12 months, and then you'll get the old price. So that's up to you. I don't think $1.50 is anything to sweat over. Personally, I'm good with that. So Paper Pumpkin is this box that gets mailed to your house. That's the one you'll get toward the end of February if you join by February. It's called Safari Celebration, by the way. If you join by February 10th, today. And I have a link in the video. And or you can just go to my website, the shopping site, where it says shop, or yeah, click here to shop. And just purchase it. But in the box is, of course, your instructions, your embellishments, whatever you need for that kit, ink, an exclusive stamp set that cannot be purchased anywhere else. This is last month's kit, by the way. And then all the supplies you need to make whatever the projects are. So, as you could see, the one for this month is cards. Okay, so, did I say it all? I think so. Do it by today if you want that. And I do have a chart here of the new pricing. Obviously it's $23.50, but if anyone needs to know prepaid or anything, let me know. But that will start basically tomorrow with all the new subscriptions. So watch for that coming. Celebration. This is an event I'm having for all of my customers, and it's free. You can earn this free from me through February 28th. The event is April 9th, and it's in person or to go. So you don't have to be local to earn this. Anyone in the U.S. can earn. And again, you have from January 1st, basically, till February 28th. You're going to get at least 4 projects, a gift from me, and games with a chance to win prizes. There's 3 ways to earn it. Spend $150 or more with me during celebration. Now, let me preface this. You need to go fill out my link, which has been emailed out. I don't know if it's in the video description, but I will check and add it if it's not. I'm writing this down. Video description, add celebration link. Because that helps me not have to keep up with it, and that tells me who earned it. So many of you have placed a single order already of $150 or more, but you can also add up all your individual orders. Class fees don't count as an order. Orders do. So if you texted or emailed me an order, or you went on my website and placed an order, all of that counts. And if you're not sure, just ask me. Number 2, host an online party that equals $150 or more. You get this event for free. And number 3, take 5 of these qualifying classes during celebration. These are the only classes that qualify, and January counts. So add up what you've already taken. Stamp a Stack, club members count. Sampler, club members count. New catalog kickoff, paper share, party, just the paper share or the party, and the get ready for spring stamp count. So if you did those and you need 1 more, go ahead and hit Stamp a Stack or Sampler this month, or 2 more or whatever, and you'll be good. Okay, so that is a free event. I just want to make sure everybody knows, click the link. It's been emailed out multiple times. It'll be in the email that goes out at 3 o'clock today, and it will be, what's the word I'm looking for, in this video description if it's not already. Okay. I was waiting for my, the lag to catch up so I could see it over here. Okay, so any questions on that, let me know. Let me point this camera down now. And it's not necessarily organized really well when I point it down, but I'll fix it, of course. For some reason, when I put the camera on today, it was showing like so much. It felt like it was showing so much more than normal, or maybe I'm just out of practice from being gone literally only 1 week. I don't know. But what I want to show you now is some new product that, and I'll just scooch this over too, that demonstrators only can get right now. You can get it next month. It's called Waves of the Ocean. And this product, let's straighten me out as well, is all going to be while supplies last, except for, I believe, the stamp set and dies will be in our new catalog. They are like a sneak peek preview, whatever, from our new annual catalog that comes out in May. But this gorgeous designer paper, blue foils, and rhinestone waves basic jewels will be while supplies last. So the best thing to do would be to get those now with a discount with our starter kit. So pay $99, choose 125 of anything you want, and because of Celebration, this ends February 28th, you can also add 2 free stamp sets of your choice. Any stamp sets from the annual or mini catalog that are, of course, not Host and not Celebration. Anything you could purchase from those catalogs. So pay $99, no shipping, tax only. Choose 125 of anything you want, including this product. So Waves of Inspiration, $23. Waves Dies, $34. Just get the bundle. It's only $7. That's the whole collection. Where's the bundle? The bundle is only $51.25. And then you can get the designer paper, foil, and rhinestones if you want, or just add the whole collection for $79.25. That's everything, and then make up your difference of your $125. Of course, you don't have to get these products if you get our starter kit. You get any products of your choice that are current that we carry. Okay, so rhinestone wave basic jewels, gorgeous. They are they're gorgeous, and it looks like a ton to me. I don't know. I haven't counted it nor read the details. Of course, I just ordered it. You get 168. There's the sizes listed, and the colors are Coastal Cabana, Night of Navy, and Pacific Point. Pretty cool. Coastal. 4 each of 6 colors. I guess there's a light and dark of each one that I said. I'm like, that looks like more than 3 colors to me. Okay, then, of course, the bundle, Waves of Inspiration. So you have this gorgeous stamp set. Would have been perfect last week on a stamping cruise. Will be perfect next year on a stamping cruise. And, of course, you can still scrapbook and all that now. But it's a gorgeous red rubber stamp set that has a giant wave stamp, like literally a wave. So for all of our surfers or just ocean lovers, this stamp is 5 1/4 inches long by 2.5 tall. The wave goes up to 2.5 inches. So there's that. Then there's, I'm not going to know these correct names, but there's these round wooden posts that you see like by the ocean. The taller one has some rope around it, and then there's like a pelican standing on top of that. There's just a single little bird, what are those called? Seagull type bird. And then 4 greetings. Our friendship is a thing of beauty. You're so totally awesome. Happy birthday. Your strength is an inspiration. So great set, Waves of Inspiration. And then, of course, the matching dies. There are wave dies. There's just all kinds of stuff in here. Birds. The one to cut out the pelican I was telling you about. Lots of water and wave type images. And then there's even a label. 2 labels, I should say. So that is, and by the way, customers can order this March 1st. They're called Waves dies. There's dies. There are 10 of them. Okay, and then this paper, gorgeous ocean waves, ocean inspired colors. Kind of looks like the bubbly water you see right there at the beach. Just several different water type images. I'll read the colors on the back. Hopefully they're listed there in a second. But it's just gorgeous. And this does not have to be ocean themed if you just want the paper and want to use it for something else. It's just that almost alcohol ink, watercolor background, whatever kind of. You can almost get sky feeling out of some of these. Gorgeous paper. One of the most gorgeous we've come out with, in my opinion, and unfortunately, it's just going to be while supplies last. So, this one is The colors: Calypso Coral, Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, Night of Navy, Pacific Point, and Petal Pink. So that's the paper. Get it while you can. Of course, when we can pre-order, there are limits, like of how many we can order. But once the ordering officially starts March 1st, you can get as many as you want while supplies last. And then this foil is called Blue Foils, but there is a perfect silver in there. Love that. And then I'm going to have to read the colors, but I believe it's going to be Coastal Cabana and Night of Navy. Just, it's foil paper. It's super pretty, gorgeous. Coastal Cabana, Night of Navy, and silver. It's pure silver, which we don't sell right now, so yay. Okay, so that is the Waves of Inspiration. Don't forget, you can purchase the Here Together stuff now. Anyone can purchase this now. You don't have to be a demonstrator. Of course, if you're a demonstrator, you get a discount. But anyway, it's the All Together products that are all going to be while supplies last, except for these new Stampin' Blends in the skin tones. So just a quick reminder about that. We have the Here Together bundle, or these products are sold separately. The dies are called Here For You. These are all in the online store now. This gorgeous black and white All Together paper. Of course, all the blends, which 2 of them are currently low. They come in sets of 2. These are not the correct sets, but they come in sets of 2. 2 of them are currently low inventory, but they will be back once they get them back in stock. And then this is just a sneak peek of my team meeting projects for this month. So when you're in the team, you can take those, the monthly make and takes if you want. It's completely optional. And we're going to make these 5 cards. They can take it to go and stamp at home, or they can attend in person if I'm offering that month. So that is that part. And then let me look at my notes. So we talked about the waves. We talked about Here Together, which is while supplies last. Oh, let me show you this new kit that just came out. Mine is arriving today. So of course not in time for video. But it is called Celebrate Today Magnet Board. This is while supplies last. It's $25. It's part of our kits collection, which are always while supplies last. And it's a 12 by 12 magnet board. So on the left of the screen here, you see the elements, and on the right, you see one assembled. Celebrate Today magnet board. So that is available right now while supplies last. And some of those kits, depending on how popular they are, do not last long. Okay. Of course, until February 28th, for every $50 or $100 you spend, you get a free gift from the Celebration brochure. No limit. Spend $150, you can pick a $100 item and a $50 item, or 3 50s. You can get multiples of the same product if you want to stock up on a certain designer paper, like the one we're going to use today, Daffodil Afternoon. You can do that. No limitations. As long as you place the order, demonstrators too, you get the product. And then, of course, the host special, place the $300 or more order or party, you get the Calming Camellia set for free. And then I already talked about, if you join my team or anyone's team, you get 2 free stamp sets of your choice in addition to everything else. So there's that. This is a card I received in the mail. Isn't it super cute? From a customer. I don't know why I had the envelope there. Anyway, for Valentine's Day, isn't that adorable? Thank you, Becky. So I wanted to show that off. And then my online ordering special this month, I haven't made the cards yet, but if you place an order with me using this host code right here, I have to figure out where to point. Right there, which is entered at checkout. When you click the little shopping bag, you'll see the word checkout in pink. Right above that, I've circled it in red, add host code. That's where you add the host code that I just pointed to if your order is under $150. So for $25 or more, order with that host code, you're going to get a free class packet to make 4 cards with this In the Moment stamp set. With 50 or more, you'll also get a free full accessory. And I haven't decided what those will be yet. It'll depend on my designs. So that's the online ordering special. And now we're going to stamp. Feels like a long time later. So today I'm using the Daffodil Daydream Bundle on my cards. These are also the cards for my Stamp-A-Stack this month. So the dies that that are loose here are going to Landa because she's going to help cut, Landa and Shirley. And then the ones in the package are the ones we're not using for this class. Oh, and there's actually more dies right here. These are the ones that my customers will need to use when they take the class in person or to go. So, as you can see, there's 24 dies here. Lots of dies with Daffodil Daydream. So you can build all these daffodils. I'm going to post on my blog, which I actually forgot to post. Let me make myself a note. I made my blog post already. I just haven't posted it. Add daffodil template. I'm just using it's like a photo of how these dies go together that Stampin' Up! Provided for us. So, I'm going to post that on my blog, but I did forget to actually do it. Okay, so all these dies you can get with the bundle, or you can just purchase the stamp set alone. And it's my Stamp-A-Stack class this month. 12 cards for 30 bucks, including 20 merchandise. Okay, so these are all the dies we'll be using today. I've pre-die cut all of this stuff. There's a butterfly, and then all these pieces to make the daffodil. It's one of the versions. There's another version that we're not using. So butterfly, daffodil, leaves, and stems. So I'm going to put these away because I pre-die cut all that. These are dies that Landa also is going to use during her cutting process. So I've got I just put them in a baggie so that I don't mess up and not send the right ones. And then those two, Landa won't need. It'll be for the customers to use if they're taking this in person or checking out my supplies. Okay, so I already have my class tub set up for when people check out. This one's a little hot mess right now because it's for my video today. But this is what you would get if you check out the supplies from my house. Everything you need is in here except a die cutting machine. Okay, so our first card, I am going to make all 4. This is kind of how your packet will look, but there is a difference, and that is because Landa... that is because you will actually make 3 of each card. So in here will be the stuff for 3 cards, and your designer paper won't be cut. You'll cut that yourself. I just pre-cut it to save time. You are getting, with this class this month, a free half a pack of Daffodil Afternoon designer paper. And it's 12 by 12, so yours will come like, well, it won't be in the plastic because we have to split the pack up, but you'll get 1 of each design. 4, 5. And, or there's supposed to be 6, whatever. And this is where I have cut up from making 2 of these cards. I didn't make 3 just due to time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I missing a design? 1, 2, right there. That one. Anyway, there's 6 designs, as y'all know. So, half a pack free. Then you're also going to receive, with your $30 class fee, the 12 cards cut and embossed, etc. You're going to get a full pack of Bumblebee trinkets, a half a pack. You'll either get this half or this half of gilded gems, and a full roll of the window pane check ribbon. So, lots of stuff with this class. Oh, and dimensionals. You get a sheet of dimensionals. Okay, so let's get started. This card, your pieces that will be cut for you are right here. Of course, you'll make 3, like I said. Oh, you'll see the fuzzies there. I don't know how that happened, but I'm scraping them off with my fingernail. I I was in a big rush yesterday when I made all these projects. Okay, so you will cut your designer paper. Sorry, let me start over. With the card base is 5.5 by 8.5 Berry Vanilla. It's just a half sheet of Berry Vanilla. This paper does use Berry Vanilla, but I have mixed white as well on some of the projects, so you'll see that, and I'll explain why. But this card base is Berry Vanilla, and it's just a half sheet of 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to fold it in half with my bone folder. So I don't want to do the crease with my finger. I want to do the crease with my bone folder so it's nice and smooth on the inside. And I just aligned those two corners on the table, not up here in the air, so that when by the time I shift it down, it's like this. Do it on the table where you don't have to shift it, and then bone folder. And this is a portrait style card. So this is the sheet of designer paper that is, I'm going to grab one out of here. It has the same design on the top and bottom, and it's these daffodils growing up from the bottom. So if you cut it right in half at 6 inches, you'll get two exact, patterns here. But we're just going to cut it from the bottom of either end where the flowers are growing at 5 1/4, and then cut that into 3 4-inch pieces. And then you could make 3 more, but you'll make your 3 cards, 5 1/4 by 4. And that is a perfect fit right here on the front of the card with a nice little 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. So you'll cut that. There is an exception though. We do cut it for those who attend in person to save them time. Okay, so this stamp set comes with 2 greetings, Happy Mother's Day and Easter Blessings. And I did want to offer variety in your greetings because it's a Stamp-A-Stack. So you can use any greetings you want when you're stamping at home, of course. But I have 2 of the cards say Happy Mother's Day and Easter Blessings. And then the other 2, where's my stamp set? Where I put it. Yeah, I don't know where I put the physical set. So let me just grab. Oh, wait, here it is. Okay, I did prep ahead. I grabbed Artfully Layered because I liked the greetings in here and I liked kind of the size of them. Remember, you can substitute any greetings you want, but I used Artfully Layered, and this card is going to say Sending All the Hugs. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You can substitute anything you want. All right, so we're going to stamp that in Evening Evergreen on this pre-die cut. This was one of those labels that was in my baggie, but it is from pre-die cut label from Tasteful Labels Dies from our annual catalog. They're awesome. And it's all Berry Vanilla. There will be a front and back because there's like a little beveled edge there. And the ink is Evening Evergreen. So remember, tap, tap, tap. You don't want to get these edges on your project, so you want to tap gently, only touching the stamp to the ink pad. And then just center this down nice and firm for a couple of seconds and straight back up. Sending all the hugs. Isn't that cute? And then also on this one, I think I did forget. Oh no, this is the piece. So I gave you a representation here of, because you're making 3 cards, we'll be giving you a strip of vanilla for 3 butterflies. Let me find my butterfly stamp. I have to take some stamps out of here to dig to the bottom. Right here, and it's going to be in crushed curry ink. I have one of my old crushed curry ink pads here. It's just been re-inked yesterday. Tap, tap, tap. Don't press too hard. You're making 3 cards in the class, so you'll need 3 butterflies. Right? Makes sense? You'll also have 3 of these, but I don't need to visualize that for you. And I would recommend snipping these apart for die cutting. Just trust me, it makes your life easier for many reasons. And then there is a die. Now, if you're doing this at home and you don't own the die, just hand cut it out, which actually is what I did the first time I used this on a different class for my team, because I didn't realize that this had dies. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought it was just a single stamp set, even though I bought the bundle. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Stampin' Cut and emboss machine. I'll just die cut one butterfly real quick. The machine comes with everything you need to use it right out of the gate. It's $120. You can do all of our embossing and all of our die cutting with this one machine. And so it's great to get with your starter kit. $99, pick 125. And you could pick this machine for $120 plus some rhinestones, and then start getting a discount on any purchases, but no obligation. I forgot to say that part. No obligation. Okay, so just align the image, of course, with the die. The clean cutting plate, always keep one that you don't cut on, goes on top, and crank it through. And then have this awesome cut image ready to go. I'll be using this one more time for this flower later. Okay, let me check y'all's comments, because I have had my head down stamping for quite a little while here. Let me scroll back. Pull all these up here. By the way, I'm done stamping. I think we're ready to assemble. We're going to need all our stuff that comes with your class fee, of course. So let me see. Hey, Julie. Martha said that Kit would make a cute sampler. I think she was talking about the paper pumpkin. Jewel is here. Hey. Hey, Margie. Hey, Linda. Thanks for sharing. Good morning, Julie. Marianne, it might not be you with the internet problems. It might be me. Julie, thanks for sharing. Good morning, Cindy. Martha says, it's all gorgeous, but oh, that foil. And then there's a blue foil heart. Yes, Jill, perfect to scrapbook our cruise photos. Definitely. Although we made a full scrapbook album on the cruise for our cruise. We made this full album already, so we'll have to add to it for sure. I definitely need to print photos, of course. But yeah, we did make an album, so we'll have to add to it with the new stuff. Okay, let's see who else. What else? Would you consider doing an album with the Memory More cards as a class, Elizabeth? Maybe. My issue with adding classes is literally just the time on my calendar. So, but like that's what we did sort of with that album. It was a full album. It was just included with the cruise. And the people who took it to go got a slightly different album with family and stuff. Martha said she ordered the magnet kit. Dana wants it. Sarah says perfect to display samplers each month. That is true. Oh, Stella says Jennifer has the bestest team. That's because I have the bestest downline, Stella. These are not the projects for bingo, Terry. I never repeat like that. This is my Stamp-A-Stack class this month. And we won't probably be using this designer paper for bingo because it's going to be gone by then. Love this paper. Ordered a second pack. Agree, Linda. Sandy, I am on YouTube, but currently all I do is upload this video to YouTube. That's the extent. So if you're watching here, you're good. I'm looking into using a service where I stream on YouTube and Facebook at the same time, but I haven't had enough time to research it. Hey, Gian, good to see you. Oh, Lucinda Kim just got this set in yesterday. Can't wait to use it. And good morning, Susie. Okay, so now let's put this together. So I'm not wrapping any ribbon around this designer paper, so I can go ahead and attach it. And so I will just add, my Stampin' Seal to the four corners and a little bit there in the center. You don't need very much at all. And center this as best I can. Then here, this will be pre-done for you. We will cut a 1 inch by 4 Evening Evergreen and emboss it with the Hive embossing folder. This is a must-have, in my opinion, embossing folder from our mini catalog. Your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine will work. Like this will work with the machine right out of the gate. So you just put your paper inside there and run it through with a different, different plates and stuff. But anyway, and then we'll do it for you for this class though. And then that's going to go on a piece of crushed curry that is 1 1/4 inches, so a little bit wider, by 4 inches. Now sometimes when you emboss with these super deep folders, your paper shrinks a little. So if the paper is a little shorter, see how that's a tiny sliver? It's fine. Don't, just ignore that. And I'm going to press very gently when I add my Stampin' Seal to this embossed paper, like very lightly, so it doesn't rip the paper up. And then I'll just attach this evergreen right across the center of that crushed curry, and then put some adhesive on the back of that. I'm a little bit off with my alignment there. See if I can fix it. Since it's embossed, it should let me grab this silicone craft sheet, which my adhesive won't stick to, so I can place this down and not stick it. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so I added adhesive to the back of the crushed curry, and I want the greeting's going to go across, right across the center of the strip, but to the right. So I'm going to kind of use that as an alignment. I don't want it in the center. I want it more toward the bottom. Hopefully that makes sense. So I place that strip across toward the bottom center. Not center, toward the bottom. I don't know what word I'm trying to say. And then I'll grab some mini Stampin' Dimensionals. Do I have? I know I can use these edges. And I do use them, but to save time on a video, I'm going to use full mini Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to place the 4 corners on the back of my greeting and then 1 in the center. Mini Stampin' Dimensionals, so 5 total. You use as many as you want, of course. And then Sending All the Hugs will be centered on this strip top to bottom, but scooted over to the right. And then my little butterfly, I'm just going to quickly bend it with my fingers to make it like it's flying. Add a Stampin' Dimensional, a mini one, to the back, and then place that on right up here on the top right corner of Sending All the Hugs. Then I will take a gilded gem. You're going to get small, medium, and large in your half a pack. I'll take a small one with my Take Your Pick tool. I like to use the pointy end, and I will place that like at the head of the butterfly. Super cute. Then you're also getting these bumblebee trinkets. So cute. They're gold. They're bumblebees. They're so cute. So I'm using them, I think, on every card. And mini glue dots. So let me show you. I'm going to peel this protective coating back until I see 2 glue dots. And I'll place 2 because I want 2 bumblebees on this card. So quick and easy. And then I just pick it up and place the bumblebee. So I'm going to do 1 here on the top right of the designer paper and 1 kind of in the middle top-ish of the designer paper between a couple of those leaves. We have those little bees there. Cute, cute. Let me see if I can make this table a little cleaner for you guys to look at. It's kind of distracting today. I don't know why the camera's so far away. I have it pushed down to like less than a foot away, but it's so close or far away. Okay, so last but not least, let's add a bow with our Evening Evergreen Window Pane Check ribbon. And this bow will be a regular bow, so I'm going to do bunny ears. You're going to have a full roll, so I like to leave it on the roll when I tie it to save me some ribbon. So I'm going to leave it on there as I just said. So I'm going to make 2 bunny ears. Lots of space in between. A tail on one side and of course a tail on the other. All of my fingers are facing me, so I have a loop in each hand and I'm pointing at myself with my thumb and forefinger. And then I take my right hand and go over the left. And then I just push that same loop down into the bunny rabbit hole. And then, of course, fix your bow. I do want this bow just a little bit, it's not big, but it's not a small bow, a little bit bigger. And then I'll trim. Now, has anyone else found with this bow, with this ribbon, this evergreen window pane check ribbon, that glue dots, it does not like glue dots. It falls right off your project. Well, that's true if you haven't found that yet. So, I quit using glue dots because it literally, every other ribbon I use perfectly fine with glue dots. This one, no. I'm using my Stampin' Seal. And which Stampin' Seal is an awesome adhesive. I just put some across the knot back there and they are staying put now. So there is that final card, your first card of Stampin' Stack. I hope you like it. I like this card. You will actually make 3 of these, because you're going to make 3 of each one. And by the way, the deadline to register for Stampin' Stack or Sampler is Sunday. Sunday. Okay, so there's your first card. Finally. I feel like it took forever to get there. Marcella, are you talking about the tulip sampler from from the retreat? Clarify that answer. I'm not showing the full thing yet, just little sneak peeks. And there are sneak peek photos out, by the way. But if that's what you're asking about, let me know. Okay, that was the first one. Our next card, very vanilla again. This table's a mess. Very vanilla card base, 5.5, 8.5. Let's fold it in half. By the way, I didn't finish. Marcia said, yay, Stampin' Stack. Terry said, thought so. Thank you, Stella. Thanks, Pat. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Jackie and Marcia and Diana and Linda and Sandy. Thank you guys very much. By the way, Marcia is one of my club members of Stampin' Stack, so thank you, Marcia, for being a club member. Okay, this is another portrait shaped card. Of course, you'll have stuff for 3 cards in your packet, but you're going to have a 4 by 5 1/4 pear pizzazz, which is, we'll die cut a scalloped circle from the layering circles dies from that piece. It's going to get hidden, so don't waste paper. Layering circle dies. And then we'll cut a basic white, circle that layers inside of that for you as well. You will cut your designer paper. The back side is this like almost tropical looking flowers with evergreen and pale papaya and other colors. But we're using the other side that's very vanilla with little pear pizzazz hearts all over. Little, very small pear pizzazz hearts all over. And then, so I have my white circle. It is, got this ruler here, 2 5/8 circle, and then the scallop that goes behind it. And then I have a 1 inch by 3 3/4. Did I say the right measurements for this? It's 3 3/4 by 5 on the designer paper. 3 3/4 by 5. The vanilla is 1 by 3 3/4 for my greeting. So I'm using white because I want to use Stampin' Blends, and I don't like how they work on our vanilla paper. I think they work better on white. And I think this card looks perfectly fine once it's all put together. And then last but not least, there is a different butterfly die than the one I just used, a smaller one in the set. And so we'll die cut a Daffodil Delight butterfly for you. for this card. Okay, so by the way, Daffodil Daydream, Daffodil Afternoon, and Daffodil Delight started getting all mixed up in my head when I was typing instructions for this class. And so I kind of forgot the name Daffodil Delight for a while because there were so many daffodil names running through my head. Okay, so for the stamping on this one, I grabbed some scratch paper because I am going to go off the edges. On this card, I'm going to use, there are 2 daffodil stamp images in the set, and I'm going to use the slightly larger one that has 3 daffodils and lots of stems and leaves, if those are different. But the 3 image one versus the single that I'll use on another card. So I am going to color with Stampin' Blends. So I'm going to use, they're an alcohol marker. So I'm going to use Memento Black ink for this. Memento Black. So obviously I can't fit this whole thing on the circle, but I'm still going to ink up the entire image. Because it never fails if I'm like, oh, I only need the flowers. There's one little spot at the top or bottom that is light because I didn't put any ink there. So just ink up the whole thing. Doesn't take that much extra ink. And then just stamp these so that the flower portion is up in the circle. Of course, 3 flowers. Also, this allows you to not have to color quite as much. So that's a bonus. And then this is the other card that I'm using, a greeting from Artfully Layered. And I'm looking for it. It says happiest birthday wishes. So we're going to stamp that in Evening Evergreen, which is really dark. So you, in the picture, you might think it's black, but it's Evening Evergreen. It's a very dark green. So that's going to go on this 1 by 3 3/4 Berry Vanilla over to the right hand side. Remember, tap, tap, tap. Don't press hard. Don't rock. This is how you get the good clean image. No ink on the edges of your red rubber. Then, when I put this whole card together, I thought that this Berry Vanilla piece needed something. And what it needed was this awesome splatter stamp that comes with this stamp set. It's a long, sort of long, skinny splatter image instead of like just a clump. And we're going to use Daffodil Delight to match our Stampin' Blends and our butterfly versus Crushed Curry, which is also in the box. Okay, so tap, tap, tap. I'm going to ink this up in Daffodil Delight. I'm going to stamp it in this top left corner, kind of off the edges, and then go 2 or 3 more times to the going toward the right and down. And really, I think that's all I need. I'm going to ink it up one more time and tap off and just add a little bit more. So I don't want dots everywhere. There's a couple of spaces, top right, bottom left, that are blank. It just makes that, it like brings that greeting to the next level. So simple. Okay, then we're going to color with Stampin' Blends, alcohol-based markers. I have Daffodil Delight, Evening Evergreen, and a little flirty flamingo, which I took that inspiration from the designer paper. Let me find a sheet that has it. I actually was going to use a different designer paper on this card, and it didn't work out. But see how they have flirty flamingo on some of these daffodils. So I'm just going to add a little bit of light flirty flamingo right in the center of each step. Actually, it's just the 2 daffodils because the one is like a view from the back. So these 2, just a tiny bit in the center. Then I will go in with dark daffodil on the detail portions, which for me, because I don't know art and I'm not good with where should the shadows and light be, I just use these lines that Stampin' Up! Has drawn. Then I go over the whole thing with light daffodil. This is Jennifer's simple version of coloring with Stampin' Blends. And then I'll do the same thing on the stems with light and dark evergreen. But I'm going to do 1 flower at a time. So I wanted to describe that. And then I'll do 1 flower at a time because I have heard that if you color light or dark, all over. And then you go back and add. I'm just using the bullet point here. The other one, because you can do it reverse as well. By the time you get to that last section, the first layer of ink may have dried out, and then it doesn't blend as well. And we want these, what blending is making the harsh lines go away. So you still see the shadow, but you don't see like you drew a line of a shadow on your project. You can get way more technical than this. You can also go back and add more dark, and you can grab your color lifter and lighten it up. You can do a ton with this, but I just usually do the basics. So right in that little center part, a little flirty flamingo. You could leave that off and no one would ever know, by the way. And then my dark, so there's 3 flowers on here, so I'll do all 3. I did not have time to pre-color. By the way, when you go on a stamping cruise and you do this as a full-time business, you probably should look at your to-do list while you're on the trip. I didn't. I got home and I was like, oh, I'm behind. And I even did work on the trip, but I didn't fully work. But I did like my newsletter and some other stuff, and I don't remember. I set up some links and this and that, but then I didn't read about, oh, it's the deadline of my stamp camp. I need to calculate that order, which is, there's a lot of math involved. And there was something else major that I was like, oh, I have to do this. And my team meeting is Saturday. And so, long story short, I didn't have time to pre-color these. Yesterday it was just get them designed, get the paper cut, and do everything else on the video. Okay, so Evening Evergreen. For these stems, again, they're pretty small. In fact, I'm going to grab my readers. They're pretty small, like skinny. So there's not a ton of space to add that shadow, in my opinion. But of course, I'm sure some of you can do a lot more, get a lot more detail than me. So I didn't add a lot of dark. And Evening Evergreen is such a dark color that even the light, this is the light one. Even the light's very dark. So, but I will say you want to be a little more careful on these stems and leaves because they're skinny. So it's easier to go outside of the lines. It's definitely not impossible to stay in the lines, but you just need to take your time and be more careful. And if you're like me, put your readers on. So you can see. Go ahead and hit these where I added the dark. But it's going to be very subtle. Now I could, like I said, go back, add more dark, pick up some color with my color lifter to add some light and all that. But in general, I still just think it's amazing that I can make a card. I'm not a crafty person by natural whatever. So I'm good with the good enough version. And almost done here. La la la. There we go. There's our colored flowers. Simple. They do bleed, these markers do bleed through. And the other thing, of course, about them is that it's smooth ink application. So you just don't have those issues like you can have with what are they called, water-based markers, where you see streaks and lines. You just keep coloring over it and it smooths it out. And then so when you see the streaks, you color some more on top of it until the streaks disappear. So I attached that flat to the Pierre Pizzazz scallop circle. I'm going to go ahead and attach this 3 3/4 by 5 designer paper to the 4 by 5 1/4 Pierre Pizzazz. Whoop, let it go too quickly there. And it went crooked. I'm trying to rush because I feel like definitely this video is taking long today. I talked a lot. Then that, no ribbons going around, so I can attach that to the card base. My circle's going to kind of go up here top left, and so I'll use that. Like, I won't glue it down yet. I'll use that as a placement marker for my greeting down here toward the bottom. I'm going to give this butterfly a little bend with my hand again, and then use a mini Stampin' Dimensional. See how these mini dimensionals are perfect for everything? It's very rare when you have to cut them in half. You do, but not very often. So I stamped the greeting to the right, so the butterfly goes to the left, and then another small gilded gem. On the butterfly. It's a different butterfly, but same deal. And then Stampin' Dimensionals on my circle of daffodils. I just realized, like, I'm looking straight down for so long. I'm like, let me make sure I didn't lose internet and I'm still live. I looked up. I think we're good. And then the daffodils, I originally was going to center it, so you totally could do that. But then I changed it and did sort of more top left, just to be different. Like, there's no other reason, so whatever you want to do is fine. And then, of course, I need a bumblebee on this card, because they're adorable, and why not? At least these kind are. I'm terrified of the real ones. There was one in Cozumel, attacking us at when we went. Yolanda, Landa, and I went to this awesome restaurant in Cozumel. And at the end, this bee was trying to get to our fruit on our drinks. There's the final version of this card. I like it so much. I hope y'all do too. Like, I thought this was going to be the plainest card of the bunch, but then when it was finished, I was like, oh, I really like how that turned out. The splatter, I think, just finishes it off. So, hope you guys like that. Janet, thank you very much. I swear, though, I'm not crafty. I just learned to copy so much. Like, after 20 years of copying, it kind of seeps in your head. What did I see here? That, oh, the mess on the table. Yeah, and this table started off clean. So, okay, that's card number 2 of Stamp-A-Stack. Card number 3. Right here. This one. I'm trying to scoot stuff out of the screen. This one, our card base is Daffodil Delight, 5.5, 8.5. We're going to fold that in half with the bone folder. And then we're going to do this amazing fold called the Z fold. Fold it backwards all the way to the left. And use your bone folder again. The easiest fun fold ever, because there's no measuring, but yet when someone opens it, they're like, ooh, ah. So even if they open it like this, it's still a wow. But Daffodil Delight Z fold. So for this one, you're going to have a 4 by 5 1/4 basic white to go on the inside. You're also going to have a 1 7/8 by 5 1/4 basic white to go on the other inside. So if you open it and lay it completely flat, it goes on that left section of the inside. Then we have, for the front of this one, a basic black scalloped contours die, pre-cut, and that's of course from the scalloped contours dies from the annual catalog. My favorite dies in the annual catalog, must have. And then the next piece that will go on top of that, this will be pre-done for you, is 2 5/8 by 3 7/8 Daffodil Delight that has been embossed with that awesome Hive embossing folder. And then you're going to cut your designer paper. There are 2 different sizes. The first one that goes on the left is this black. It's all black with just little very vanilla plus signs. The back side is all Daffodil Delight with sort of vanilla daffodils drawn on it, small ones. But we're using the plus side. You're going to cut that to 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. And then I tested cutting the second piece of a different design here to the same exact size, but that did not work out for me. So the second one, well, first of all, the design I used is the full sheet is all this pattern where it's smaller daffodils and flowers like daisies growing in an upward pattern with like, it's a very dark evening evergreen background or possibly black. And then you have a little bit lighter but still dark, and then all the way up to some light. The stems and leaves from the flowers, and then just different colors and styles of flowers growing there. Hopefully that's a good description. The back is a crushed curry and daffodil delight pattern that's not flowers, but we're using the other side, so you're going to want to cut this where the flowers are growing in the correct direction. But anyway, it is 2 1/8 inches, so it's basically a 1/4 inch bigger than this one. 2 1/8 by 5 1/4. So y'all know I do Z-fold cards all the time, and usually we have this white showing on the inside. Sometimes we stamp on it, and then you open it up and you see the inside. I wanted to make this more like almost an illusion when it's closed, that it just has 2 pieces of designer paper on it, like that. So we're going to attach that second designer paper to the right side of the white, and none of that white will show. Then when you open it, you can see the white. And then when this is on the top front, can't do it. I always bump stuff. Hopefully you get where I'm going. Okay, so for my stamping. Oh, and then this white piece that I told you about already to go on the inside is because we have a small area to write in. So that gives you a little more writing space. For the stamping, I'm going to stamp on the 4 by 5 1/4 basic white, and then this scrap of basic white that will be in your pack. So on this 4 by 5 1/4, the designer paper is going to get attached to the right, but do not attach it yet. Why? Because you might press too hard like I did and get lines all over, and it's going to say thank you, I believe, or no, which one is this? It's going to say Happy Mother's Day with some ugly lines around it. So you don't want to glue it down yet, because you technically can cover that up when you mess up and stamp it here, or flip it over. You get 4 chances. So just stack it so that the paper is where it's going to be. Grab your Memento Black, I believe. Let me check. Yes. And then I did Happy Mother's Day. For my in-person events, we're going to stamp Easter blessings in black on the last card, so you could do that instead as well. But I'm going to use Happy Mother's Day. And tap, tap, tap. Now, I did trim the edges off of this stamp by hand once I got that edge on there, because I'm like, I don't even press hard, and that happened. So tap, tap, tap. Use the designer paper to tell you where this image goes, which is the very top left corner within that white section. And if it's good, then you can go ahead and glue your designer paper down. If it's bad, take chance or time, second chance, 2, 3, and 4. And then on the scrap, I need the smaller flower image from the set. It's a single daffodil with 3 or 4 leaves coming up. And we're going to die cut this one out, so just kind of stamp it in the center, like it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Almost got that ink on the edge there. And then we'll color it in just like before, but I didn't put the pink on this one because there's no, well, there is pink, but anyway, I didn't. You can, it's up to you. I'm just going to use Daffodil and Evergreen, and I'm going to color it just like the other one. Putting everything back in my little tub, so I'm kind of a hot mess. Okay, so dark, wherever I think dark daffodil should be, which I'm just putting it where Stampin' Up's lines are. And you see I'm using the fine point. You can use the brush tip when you have enough space and you're good with it. For me, even on an image this size, the fine point for me works a little better. in my opinion, you get the same effect no matter which side you use. This one just may take a minute longer. But I think you get the same look in the end because you can just keep coloring and coloring and coloring and blending and smoothing it out. So even though these are more smaller strokes, there's no streaks because you just go over it and get those streaks to disappear. See? But you can use the brush tip if it works for you. Make sure you hear the snap when you close them. You want to close those immediately so that they don't dry out. They are alcohol based, just like a Sharpie. Have you ever had a Sharpie dry out on you in 5 seconds? Same deal here. So just a little dark. I'm sure y'all know better than me where the dark goes. And you may not even need the dark on these. There's many times when I'm using blends that I don't use the both dark and light. Just use one or the other. And then after this gets colored, it's going to get die cut out. Sometimes I might recommend go ahead and die cut it before you color in case the die slips and then you have to start all over and do all that coloring again. It's just like the chance you take one way or the other. Now if you're hand cutting it out, hopefully you won't slip up on that, but this is just like the other one, just a few less images to color. I'm not doing a great coloring job here, but if you win these cards, you will receive the better of the two, whether it's the one I pre-made or the one I made today. Okay, so then here's the die. I'm just going to run over to my machine and cut it to save y'all a minute here. But as you can see, it fits perfectly. If you missed it, I die cut a butterfly earlier, so you can see how to do that with our awesome Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And yeah, same exact process. I just am not bringing it in front of the camera. So it cuts out these 3 little holes in the center. Make sure you clean that out immediately. Don't die cut again until you get that out of there. I just use a toothpick so I don't stab myself. But any of those that have paper stuck in them, clean that out immediately, either for your next time you use it, the next person in class, or if you're doing 3 in a row, for example. Okay, so now we can put this card together, I believe. Yes. Okay, so first I'll just do all the attaching here. There's going to be some ribbon. So this is my 2 1/8 by 5 1/4 designer paper to go on the right side of this basic white. And then that entire piece goes inside the card. Then just for visual for me, I'm going to attach the 1 7/8 by 5 1/4 designer paper on the front part first, which this is the black one with the little plus signs. And that will help me see where this white one goes on the inside. So you open the card and lay it flat-ish. And this 1 7/8 by 5 1/4 white goes on the second panel here, which I usually just leave blank, but of course you could stamp it or attach something else, whatever. That can make you be able to write a longer note if you want to. Okay, then the daffodil that's embossed, I'm gonna, again, no pressure when you're adding adhesive, our adhesive Stampin' Seal, to an embossed piece like this. I'm literally pressing as little as possible to make the adhesive not press hard and pull up this delicate paper. So that goes on my black scallop. And then I'm just going to go ahead and attach this to the front of the card like I always do. Stampin' Dimensionals on the left side only. So I'm going to flip it over top to bottom put it back in the center. Gives me a good visual of where my dimensionals need to go so that they're only on the left side. I'm going to do 6 dimensionals, minis. Oh, on my other sample, I used black. You're getting white ones with the class fee, but if you have black on hand, they'll hide a little better under there. It's fine though. It's just that little tiny extra touch if you use the black ones. And then that goes in top to bottom and left to right centered. So cute. Now the flower, the reason I didn't attach it yet is I want to add ribbon, but I did test this and I like it better on this particular single flower on this card. If I actually, it's a bow I'm doing, but if I actually tie the bow around the flower and then tie the bow instead of just tying a bow and attaching it, I think it looks better this way. So I'll grab my silicone craft sheet just to protect my surface from any excess adhesive, and I'm going to add a little adhesive right there in that section of the stem where the ribbon is going to go around. And then leave my ribbon on the roll, and you have to guesstimate how much you need, of course, to wrap it around and tie a bow. But I just stick the ribbon to the back of the flowers. I'm going to flip it upside down and just tie a normal bow, like not a bunny ear. So I'm going to tie it one time. I don't know what you call this. It's not a knot, but I tie it one time and then make my bow. Trying to keep my ribbon flat, flat, flat the whole time. And if your project was upside down, your bow comes out right side up. Trying to even my loops out here. They're kind of weird, but just to save time, we'll go with it. Like I said, I think the other one looks, the bow's a tiny bit better, but that's called feeling the pressure of your video being so long. Yeah, I need to trim that loop, that stem as well, but we'll do that later. Okay, so Stampin' Dimensionals, which are right here. I'm just going to do 3, 2 towards the top of the flower and 1 below the ribbon. Mini dimensionals, of course. And then that goes just basically right in the center of this daffodil on the front. And then we'll finish this off with some bumblebees and some gilded gems. Let me do my bumblebee first. So 1 bumblebee on this card. It's going to be at the top right on the daffodil piece above the flower. And then gilded gems, I'm going to use 1 small, top left, 1 medium, kind of right center, and 1 large, bottom left. That's it. This is the finished card. Happy Mother's Day, or Easter blessings, I think it says, or any other greeting you want to put on there that you have on hand. So you'll make 3 of those. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Terry. I know Linda says, love this DSP. Love it, love it. Marcia, I just sent the email this morning before I went live to my club members, you know, telling you what stamps we're using, what ink pad colors, and when you can pick up, which is Saturday the 19th. But if you're picking it up Saturday, because I go do my live event that day, I need to know Friday if you want me to put it out Saturday, because it won't be ready Friday. So hopefully that makes sense, Marcia. Also, let me know if you did not receive that email, because y'all know I have some email problems. Okay, last but not least, of course, we had to use these dies to make a daffodil. Don't forget to go to my blog, Stamp Therapist, stamptherapist.com. Trying to point correctly. Stamptherapist.com. Maybe an hour after this video ends, because I need time to upload videos and blah blah blah. But and in that video, on that blog post, I will post these photos of how to assemble these flowers with the dies. But of course, I'm going to do this one now, but there's a second flower you can do as well. So, our card base is very vanilla, 5.5 by 8.5. Fold that in half with your bone folder. Then in your packet will be I think this is 2 inches, but let me make sure. Yes, 2 inches by 5 1/4, very vanilla, that will be embossed with the Hive embossing folder. Thank you, Landa and Shirley. By the way, also on the cruise, well, 2 things that happened on the cruise. One, when I met one of my people, she's a team member, Shirley, from Maine, in person, she literally was like, I did have a mask on, but she was like, Jennifer? And I was like, yes, which I thought with the long brown hair, of course, like, you would recognize me, right? We've been on Zooms together, etc. And she was like, I thought you were a lot taller. So FYI, I'm 5'1", 5'1". And she was so confused because I was so short. And then what was the other thing? Oh, Landa. So several people were like, we get to meet the infamous Landa. Like, we didn't even know if she really existed. We've never seen Landa before. So there's another reason to come on the stamping cruise, so you can see how tall I am and meet Landa in person. So Terry, if we are a club member, we know no, Terry. I get out my sneak peeks as soon as humanly possible, but this is the only class I've designed this month. So by Sunday, I have to design card, scrapbook, and sampler. Sorry. But as soon as I know what stamps I'm using and then what ink colors, I email club members and say, hey, you need these ink pads. So if you don't have them, you can click here and add them on, in the black one, wherever it is. And we're using this bundle or this stamp set. And if you don't have them, click here to order them. So it's not pictures of the projects, it's what we're using in the projects. And also I add the list of the Stampin' Blends. So I told them in the email for, what's that class? For sampler, as soon as I know my ink colors, I'm going to email you guys. So hopefully that makes sense, Terry. It's literally just a being human problem of me not being able to design up until closer to the event. So, and I know you can relate to that. Okay, so you have the very vanilla. We're going to cut this designer paper, of course, ourselves. Then we will pre-punch for you this very vanilla piece from the Label Me Fancy Punch. So that'll be pre-punched for you. And then I showed you these dies at the very, very beginning of the video. And this will be pre-die cut for you to make a single flower. And again, this is kind of the picture I'm going to be posting over in my blog later. You'll have 2 Daffodil Delight solid flowers, 2 crushed curry detail. These are exactly the same. 1 of this smaller, like the center part of the daffodil, Daffodil Delight, and then the detail one is crushed curry. And then these 2 stems, which one is like where the flower grows from and one is the leaf, in Evening Evergreen. So all that'll be cut for you. It's very simple to put together. These dies, I've heard from many people, including myself, look intimidating. In actuality, they're not difficult at all. It's pretty darn easy to put together. So I'm going to show you. Now you will cut your designer paper to 4 by 5 1/4. This is the one that has a pale papaya and flirty flamingo check pattern on one side, almost like a grid. And on the back is all the flowers, big ones, pretty. I love this pattern in this paper. By the way, it's free with a $50 purchase, no limit, but it ends February 28th. You get half a pack with this class though. Okay. So let me put my flower together first. So I'm going to grab this silicone craft sheet, which I have in that class tub, and add adhesive to the back of these two large detail pieces. And there is a specific way they fit. So you just, what I do is I just keep turning. That might be, no. And of course it would be the third way I turn. And then it's just look at the center portion where everything meets up perfectly. So they're very simple. That one did the first time. I'm sure there's some pattern you can look at to know faster, but I just turn it. If it takes 3 times, that's fine. And then again, just a little bit of adhesive on the back of these detail ones. This is the center of the daffodil. And then stick that on there. I do have in my packet not my packet, but in the tub, the adhesive remover in case there's a little excess adhesive on the front. You get one of these when you buy my adhesive kit, which is in all my class registrations, by the way. Oh, and then one more thing. I'm going to add adhesive only to the bottom. See how this larger leaf has a bend? Only below the bend is where we need adhesive. Not even a ton. And that gets attached to the bottom of the stem evenly, and then it breaks off at that bend. So hopefully that makes sense. And I'm going to keep this adhesive sheet here. So then the flower, actually let me put my flower together. So you have these two, I don't know technical names, but these two petal images, the first ones we made, that have 3 petals on them. So they go on top of each other where they're, I'm blanking out on that word, but they're opposite. So you see 6 petals. Then your little center, because of the direction of this stem, we want this to go off to the left instead of to the right. So I'm just going to add adhesive on the back of the small center and point it to the left. In my opinion, nothing needs to be perfect here. But then I want to use this to measure where do I want to place this stem on this very vanilla embossed piece. So I'm going to kind of put the flower in the middle of the top, center of this vanilla. And then now I can kind of see where I want this piece. So let me add to the stem and flower and leaf, add a little adhesive, very sticky adhesive, and then tuck it under there. This isn't, oh, I forgot, I don't want adhesive at the top of the leaf. I'm just going to take that off with my hand because I want it kind of free flowing there. Anyway, that's about where I want my stem, so I can press it down. It's good to go, and I'm very sticky. Now I can add dimensionals to my flower. A little daffodil. What time is it? Whew. Sorry, y'all. I mean, I know this is normal for me, but still. And then make sure your little flower, your little center is pointing the right direction, right? Now, of course, this is sticking off the end. What do we do? Oh no, I'm going to add a little adhesive up a little higher so it sticks down. And then I'm just going to flip it over on the back and trim it from the back. Put this here so you can see. Scissors. Do it from the back so you can see perfectly where to cut. And that's it. Simple, simple. Super cute. Stamping, my card is going to say Easter blessings. Your card can say any greeting you want it to say, of course. And I'm going to use this border stamp and the greeting, which I already said, Easter blessings. So Easter blessings, I'm going to use Memento Black. And this, so there's a stamp in the set that's a border. It's just a really pretty border. It could be used with any of your other stamps. Like you can mix and match it, of course. But I'm going to ink it up in Daffodil Delight and stamp it so it's much longer than this label. And stamp it right across the center-ish. See, that was a little low. Nobody will ever know I didn't intend to put it low. And then Memento Black for the greeting. I did these in black on purpose, so in person they can interchange them on the other card or vice versa. This might say Happy Mother's Day in black instead. I don't like people changing the colors in my classes because then our ink pads get ugly. I'm trying to align the label with the grid lines here so I can know it's straight for stamping. Okay, Easter blessings right in the middle there. Now we can assemble. Of course, we're going to use Gilded Gems, ribbon, and a bumblebee. So for this one, I am wrapping ribbon around this designer paper. So you always want to check that before you start putting your projects together in case, you know, you don't want to mess up and have to peel everything off or make weird adjustments. So the first thing I'm going to do is attach my Hive embossed vanilla, remembered as little pressure as humanly possible when you're adding your adhesive to the back of that. This goes to the left. This is a portrait. I think all the cards are portrait in this class. To the left of the designer paper, but not all the way to the left. Maybe half an inch is showing. Then the next thing I'm going to do is tie this evening evergreen window pane check ribbon around in a bow. So all the way around. My bow is going to be right above or right on top of the stem, but don't worry, you can just adjust that after you tie the bow. And what you do, what I recommend you do, is get your ribbon to the plus sign point, hold it with one hand, nice and tight. That's where you ask your friend to put their finger there, but instead you grab these reverse tweezers, you pinch them, they open, you let go, they close. Now your hands are free to tie a bow or a knot or answer the door or take a phone call or whatever. And then you can come back and tie your regular bow. So reverse tweezers are on my Amazon store. We don't sell them. They're available probably many places, but you get 2 for like $7 or $8 on Amazon. So it's a really good deal. And of course, we need at least 2 of every stamping supply because we lose them every 5 seconds. Or you might want to give one to a friend. Okay, so I'm going to cut. That bow came out a lot better than the last card. Just a little trim on the left side. By the way, again, doing it from the roll gives you pretty much 0 waste. At least on the one side. Okay, so the bow looks good, but if it was not positioned properly, I could just slide it, of course, and position that. I'm going to make sure it's the height I want. So I kind of want my greeting above the ribbon, of course, but slightly half on, half off the flower piece, the vanilla, but it can be a little bit more one direction or the other. So that's going to be good. So let me go ahead and attach this designer paper to my card base. And then dimensionals on my greeting. I'll do 4 to balance it out. You are getting a sheet of those dimensionals with this class, which you can sign up for by Sunday. Ask me if you need the link. And then I'm going to add small, medium, large, small, bottom right, medium. These are Gilded Gems on the left side, and large is actually kind of above. This one laid out differently, so than my first card. But anyway, kind of above the greeting by the stems. And then our bumblebee trinket. Did anyone forget we sold these like me? Looking for my blue dots. bumblebee trinket up here to the top right of the flower, kind of flying downward. That's it. Last card. Super, well, I think it's super cute. Hope you guys do. Thank you, Pat. So, hope you like the cards today. By commenting on this video on YouTube or Facebook, you get entered to win a set of these cards already made, all 4. By sharing the video and commenting that you shared, just so I'll know, you also get entered, and both of those things help me in my business, so thank you, thank you. Even just watching the video, like I said, or clicking a like or anything, it helps me, so thank you guys very much. But also, of course, this is my Stamp a Stack class and club for the month, so you'll make 12 cards, add 1 more of each one, get $20 in merchandise, a free half a pack of designer paper, for only $30, but you have to sign up or join the club by Sunday. So, any questions, let me know. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Janet. This is her favorite, the last one. I love this paper so much. And anyway, when you're designing for classes, some of y'all, I'm sure, know this, at least the way I do it. You have to try to use a variety of the products you're using and blah, blah, blah. This was the last one I designed, I believe. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I really want to use this design. And I forgot I need to use these dies. So it had to be forced together, if that makes sense. So hopefully it came out okay. Hey, Pat, thanks for sharing. Terry, thank you for sharing again. Diane says daffodils are her favorite flower. Awesome. Terry's obsessed. Thank you, Terry. You're always so nice. Let me go back here. Thank you, Jackie and Pat. No, I didn't mean pics. Oh, yes. And actually, Terry, I announced the stamp set because the club is the same as the class the 1st of every month in my customer email. So even the club members see it then before they get that other email from me normally. Just because y'all know I'm busy. Jean says, I'm 5'2", someone shorter than I am. Shocked. I think Landa is shorter than me. And then I wore heels a couple of times on the cruise, and I was like, I feel like a giant standing next to you, Landa, which I'm short, so, you know. But, anyway, it's just funny. And our perceptions of people, you know, what am I trying to say? When we see them on a video and we only see them from the neck up, whatever, might be different than real life. It's very funny. Betty says March birthday flower is daffodil. Well, guess what, Betty? My birthday's in March, so I did not have a clue about that. Mine, April's, and my daughter's, and of course a bunch of other people I know are in March, so that's cool. Pat wants to win these. Cool, Terry. Yeah, I know. And I know my stuff can be confusing because I offer a lot and it's like a lot of words I use. So, Mary Ann, what did you say earlier? I missed it. She says, not just today, every day. Okay, well, anyway, thank you, Jean. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. Sorry about the glitching earlier. I hope replay is better, but you never know with Facebook. Here, I'll do picture in picture real quick. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. And I hope to see you next week on Thursday at 9 a.m. Central. If you have any questions on anything I talked about today, just let me know. Everyone have a great day. Oh, Betty says you, April, and me. She's March 8th. Awesome, Betty. March is a great month to have a birthday, right? And like I said, my daughter's is in March. I can't remember on the cruise. We were discussing our birthdays and I heard of other people's whose birthdays were in March as well. But of course, my bad memory. All right. Well, everyone have a great day. Thank you, Carol. Hey, Evelyn, you'll have to watch replay. Linda, 5/1. My birthday's in March too. Love it. Love it. We'll have to all somehow meet in person one day, right? If you're a demonstrator, once they start doing a big